Hi, you're on the Bible Forum. I'm Warren Sprouse. Do you know where you're headed? I'd like to give you a little peek at where we're going. A North Carolina teacher and her school district are under fire after she ordered students to do a diversity inventory in which they publicly identified their sexuality, gender, religion, ability, and social economic class. And also that of their fellow students, teachers, parents, and even their doctor. The North Carolina Values Coalition says the demand likely violated the law, and worse yet, apparently it's part of an indoctrination program at Heritage High School in Wake County. The controversy erupted when Melissa Wilson, a high school English teacher, ordered students to take this inventory. The organization explained, quote, students were also asked to stand up and walk toward posters in different areas of the room that correlated with their sexual identities. The students were traumatized. Some were brought to tears. At a morning meeting, one parent said that her student had been experiencing PTSD from the incident. Another student didn't attend school on Friday and is so scared to return to Wilson's classroom environment that they told their parent they hoped the hurricane would distract everyone from this incident. Another parent's child FaceTimed them in the middle of the classroom to tell them how uncomfortable they were with the assignment. Another student had a friend who had recently shared very private information about themselves to a select number of their peers and went white when the teacher asked students to now stand and reveal their private identities. The organization said that when the students, quote, expressed discomfort, the teacher's response was to tell them it was all right because she used to be Catholic and is now a bisexual atheist, end of quote. WorldNet Daily tried to obtain comment from the school, but it was closed on Friday last week. The family organization said its officials met with school officials and, quote, parents who were outraged and demanding action. North Carolina Values Coalition has launched what they call an immediate review of legal options to help traumatized students and parents at Heritage High School after our investigation discovered high school's principals told parents earlier in the year that the lessons used by the 10th grade English teacher were approved by the district's curriculum department. The group said the problem is the diversity inventory exercise, quote, intentionally disregards U.S. Code 1232H, the protection of pupils' rights, which explicitly prohibits students from being required to submit a survey, analysis, or evaluation that reveals private sexual identity, religious, and privileged information without the prior consent of a parent or a guardian. The organization and parents, through meetings with the school officials, found out that the teacher had used the worksheet before. A second teacher also was using it, and the school's curriculum department approved. Oh, and there's more. We have discovered that the Wake County, you need to think Raleigh, North Carolina, Public School Systems Equity Affairs Office has been conducting training seminars on the social justice standards, which is intended to educate and activate students to advance a particular socialist, social, democratic, political ideology. These training seminars are attended and promoted by everyone from principals to teachers to schools to entire departments. There are arguably hundreds of tweets from these educators discussing the training seminars and stating how they are implementing them in classrooms ranging from elementary science to high school literature to middle school math. All of that according to NC Values Coalition. And, quote, one teacher even shows a picture of her morning circle of fourth graders with a tweet explaining how she is teaching them social justice, while a New Age spiritualists, quote, sits on the PowerPoint in the background. The group's online report said Wilson demanded that students, quote, write their name and then identify the sexuality, gender, religion, ability, and social economic class of their teachers, fellow students, themselves, their parents, and even their doctor. These are 9-year-olds. The group said whether you want to teach your child to be Christian or a social democrat or even a communist, it's your family's private business. Families and churches are charged with teaching these values, not the public school. Why? Because they're public, and they need to maintain a neutrality and a respect of privacy, according to the group's report. The report continues saying when public schools try to radicalize youth or abuse their teaching responsibilities, it leads to emotional wounds like those experienced and voiced by the impacted students. It's not the business of the state through public education to do it for you. And that's exactly what's happening when teachers are trained to modify their curriculum in order to train their students to learn and act on social justice, whereas that time should actually be spent teaching them English, math, science, things that taxpayers are paying for, and not this other junk. Is all of this an isolated situation? No. Wake County is actually behind the curve in this endeavor. State schools in liberal states have been at this for 50 years. And our current presidential debates echo their success. What you're hearing from Democrat candidates for president and the mainstream media is exactly what our public school has been shouting for the last 80 years, albeit more openly and more consistently these last 40 years or so. And it's going to get worse. Liberalism is actually the easier road to success. It doesn't challenge us to be better. It only challenges us to be more natural. You got kids in public school? You need to be thinking about it.